Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will turn the pages of After You by Jojo Moyes. After You by Jojo Moyes, published in 2015, is the poignant sequel to Me Before You. It continues Louisa Clark's journey as she grapples with grief, identity, and finding purpose after the life-altering events of the first book. Set in the aftermath of Will Traynor's death, this novel explores healing, self-discovery, and how love can emerge in unexpected ways. Plot summary. Louisa Clark's life had stalled. She lived in a tiny London apartment she could hardly call home, working in a kitschy Irish-themed airport bar, her days blending into one another. Grief hung over her like a heavy cloud, a constant reminder of the man who had taught her to see the world in color, Will Traynor. Though 18 months had passed since his death, Louisa struggled to fulfill his parting wish for her to live boldly. Instead, she found herself caught in a cycle of loneliness and routine, haunted by his absence. One night, in a fit of despair and alcohol-induced courage, she climbed to the roof of her apartment building, seeking solace under the stars. A voice from the shadows startled her, causing her to lose her footing and plummet 2 stories. The fall, cushioned by an awning and a sun lounger on a neighbor's balcony, left her battered and broken, but alive. Louisa awoke in a hospital bed to the concerned faces of her parents, Josie and Bernard, who insisted she return to their home in the quiet village of Stortfold to recover. Reluctantly, Louisa agreed. Back in her childhood home, she felt like an outsider, enduring the watchful eyes of her neighbors and the suffocating concern of her family. Yet amidst the unease, small comforts emerged: her sister Trina's sharp humor, her young nephew Thomas's innocent mischief, and her grandfather's quiet camaraderie. As her body healed, Louisa's mind remained restless, burdened by the knowledge that she was far from the life Will had envisioned for her. Her monotony was disrupted by 2 encounters that set her on a new course. First, her parents enrolled her in the Moving On Circle, a local support group for people dealing with loss. Reluctant at first, Louisa found herself drawn into the group's odd mix of personalities: a quiet man mourning his late wife, a bubbly woman who masked her pain with relentless optimism, and Mark, the group's leader, who guided them with gentle understanding. Though hesitant to open up, Louisa began to find unexpected solace in their shared stories of grief and resilience. The second encounter came in the form of Lily Houghton-Miller, a troubled teenager who appeared unannounced at Louisa's doorstep. Claiming to be Will Traynor's daughter, Lily exuded defiance and vulnerability in equal measure. Her revelation threw Louisa into turmoil. Will had never mentioned a child, and yet the girl's mannerisms and striking resemblance to him left little room for doubt. Louisa, unsure of how to respond, found herself reluctantly drawn into Lily's chaotic world. As she navigated the challenges of supporting Lily, Louisa discovered the depths of the girl's pain. Estranged from her cold, controlling mother, Lily sought connection and stability, but often sabotaged her own chances at happiness. Louisa became a reluctant guardian, enduring Lily's mood swings, reckless behavior, and poor decisions. Yet, beneath the girl's brash exterior, Louisa saw glimpses of a scared, lost child yearning for acceptance. Lily's presence brought Will's memory back into sharp focus, forcing Louisa to confront her own unresolved grief. The girl's arrival also opened a door to the Traynor family, whom Louisa had avoided since Will's death. She reached out to Camilla Traynor, Will's mother, who confirmed Lily's claim and shared her regrets over not knowing her granddaughter sooner. The fractured family dynamic weighed heavily on Louisa as she tried to mediate between Lily and the Traynors, hoping to bridge the gap that years of silence had created. In the midst of these emotional upheavals, Louisa met Sam Fielding, a paramedic who had been among the first responders after her fall. Their connection was immediate yet fraught with hesitation. Sam's steady presence and dry humor provided Louisa with a sense of stability she hadn't realized she needed. However, haunted by the shadow of her love for Will, Louisa struggled to open her heart fully. Sam, patient and understanding, stood by her as she wrestled with her emotions, offering her the chance to love again without erasing the past. As the months passed, Lily's presence transformed Louisa's once quiet existence. The teenager's antics, though often frustrating, forced Louisa to engage with life in a way she hadn't since Will's death. Slowly, she began to rediscover her own identity, distinct from the grief that had defined her. She reconnected with her passion for helping others, even considering a new career path inspired by her experiences with the moving on circle. Lily's relationship with the Traynors remained tenuous, but progress was made. Edward, Will's father, softened toward his newfound granddaughter, while Camilla began to forge a cautious bond with her. Lily's journey was far from smooth. She continued to make mistakes and struggle with her sense of self, but she started to believe in the possibility of family and belonging. For Louisa, the path to healing was equally uneven. She took tentative steps toward a future with Sam, letting go of the guilt that had tethered her to the past. Though Will's absence would always be felt, Louisa realized that honoring his memory meant truly living, not merely surviving. She began to dream again, considering the possibilities of a life filled with purpose, love, and adventure. As Louisa stood on the cusp of a new chapter, she reflected on the people who had shaped her journey, those she had loved, lost, and found along the way. With renewed hope, she embraced the idea that life, in all its messiness, was worth living boldly. Hope you enjoyed that. If you're curious about what happens next, explore the rest of Me Before You series by Jojo Moyes. Find them in the description or search Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Jojo Moyes' original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.